Last time someone said this guy ain't it. He's just there for the money.
Really?
Yes.
When was that?
On our the video we did, we were talking about the baby.
I mean, you know what though? I feel very proud to be at a place in life.
Yeah, where people are like, this guy's a gold digger. Off
yeah,
of you.
like I'm gold.
Yeah,
you know, not me, but I have gold.
You have gold.
We have gold.
Yeah,
we have created gold.
Is it not? Do you not get comments of like
I haven't seen those in a
derogatory
long
towards me?
I haven't seen it in a long time. I think it's so obvious at this point that it would be impossible. The level of business that we do and the volume of content that we create, it would just be impossible for me to do it by myself. And now you've become such an intrinsic part of the brand. So I think it's like you really just have to be legitimately trolling, not even hating, trolling. Because it's just, to me, it's very obvious that this could not be a one-person show.
What's up, D-Dot?
Pull up on the hills one time. You ain't gotta stress on time. I could probably hit it in the booth right now. VVS diamonds all in my mouth. Big dog, look at my paws. She walked in with no drawers. Make it rain, I'm like fall. Oh, we threw a party, yeah, we threw a party. I'm off the Molly, she on Bacardi. Hands on her back, she twerking that body. Forget your past, move on, quit the stalling. Hit it to the left, right, yeah, I'm on the road. You don't wanna take flight, you ain't tryna go. I can hit the brake lights, got you one more. Freaky at the nighttime, things you never show. Pop that when you walk past, that's a full stack. Flip that, make it right back, that's a relapse. You ain't mad if I don't call back, no you missed that. Got a problem, you ignite that, you don't write back. You should slide to my side. Know you are a good time. Come on baby, don't lie. Pull up on the hills one time. You ain't gotta stress on time. I could probably hit it in the booth right now. VVS diamonds all in my mouth. Big dog, look at my paws. She walked in with no drawers. Make it rain, I'm like fall. Oh.
Pulled up in the hills one time. Shorty in the fields one time. I ain't on no pill, not tonight. No, I ain't on no pill, not tonight. We could do whatever you like, yeah. You know I catch flight like Mike, yeah. Pull your mask down, give me a kiss, girl. Eating healthy, we ain't getting sick, girl.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Squarespace is what we use for Shan's websites and offer exclusive content. So check out squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/ShanBooty to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. So wait, let's back up then. When do you think that it turned around to where your business model started bringing you money?
When I met you. Literally, you know? I mean, at the end of the day, the year that I met you, I made $12,000.
Yeah.
Mind you, there was decisions that I made. Moving to California was a massive decision. Also as well, too, like really throwing myself into this because even at 19, I believed that it could be successful, but there was nobody else, number one. There was no blueprint, and I would do one thing, and if it didn't work, I'd like quit a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I would come back to the table, try something else, and it wouldn't work, and then I would quit a little bit. And luckily, within the time that I met you at 30.
Yep.
So within 2 years, I started to
28.
actually. Oh my gosh. Yes.
She told me that she was 28 when we first met.
But why did I do that?
I don't know. You tell me.
You're
the one who did it.
I told you why.
Why?
Because I was embarrassed.
Why were you embarrassed?
Because I was 30, living in a studio apartment.
Yeah.
I didn't have much going for myself. I was like, we were financially on the same page. You know what I mean? So I was 6 years older than you, but my like lifestyle didn't look like a 30-year-old woman.
Yeah.
So I was just really embarrassed about like where I was at in life. And so.
Which was so interesting to me because when I first met you, I thought you had it all figured out. Like, I was like, this woman got her business together. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly who she is, and she is moving forward in this industry. That was the impression that I got from you.
Well, all those things were true.
Yeah.
Except I didn't have money.
Yeah.
But I did have my business plan, my model, what I wanted. I did know what I wanted. I did know what my brand was.
Yeah.
I just didn't necessarily know how to make that into something lucrative. Please, if you're watching this video, do not wait until you feel like you are in our position to make that investment in yourself. Now, that investment can be anything. It can be manpower, it can be time, it can be dollars, or a combination of all three.
Yeah.
But I think, I'm an older person, and the one regret that I have is that I was always waiting for someone else to give me opportunities, to give me chances, and my life didn't turn around until I started making uncomfortable investments in me. The kind of investments that I was hoping somebody else would make.
Yeah.
I somehow found the time, found a way, found the money, and it was frightening every single time. And don't get me wrong, I didn't always win, didn't always pan out, but by continuing with that pattern of behavior, I think that's how I got where I am today. So making that investment, and one place that I think is a really, really good investment, invest in curating your audience and building a place for them, i.e. a mailing list. Also invest in a website that puts all of your incredible work together in a stunning, visually beautiful place that is organized and represents you in the best light possible. And Squarespace is a company where you can accomplish both of those things.
Hey. Listen, if you watched any videos on this channel before, then you know we are huge fans of Squarespace. Why? Well, for one, it's easy to use even for me who has no idea how to code. With Squarespace, I get that custom look that looks stunning. They also have really in-depth analytics where you can gain powerful insights about your site visitors and how they interact with your content. And they have so much more. And I just want you to go see it for yourself. So head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/shambooty to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. A lot of people don't know. We rarely argue about our relationship. Most of the time, our arguments stem from work. First, let me ask you this. Has our work relationship got better?
100%.
100%. How would you describe our work relationship in the beginning when I first started working with you?
I don't know. I just would say
Lazy?
sometimes. No, but you know what it is? I had this experience in the Game of Desire.
Yeah.
So I worked with these women and I thought it would be a 6-week course, but I forget how long it took me to acquire those skills.
Yeah.
So with you, I thought that you would pick up things a lot quicker, but I forgot that I met you at 30 and I started at 19. So I'm like, come on, like, why aren't you at my level yet? And also too, I think, to toot my own horn here, I, again, really know the lane that I want to succeed in. I can graphic design, I can script, I can edit videos, I can take photos, I can set up camera equipment, and I'm good on camera. I can do research. I know how to send emails. My communication skills are good. But again, like, I've figured out what I wanted to do in life, and I've only worked on those skills.
Yeah.
And so when I met you and like you were not excelling, I was like, but I'm giving you 20 jobs and asking you to be me in all 20 of them and not giving you the grace of time.
Yeah.
And I probably wasn't the best teacher.
No, I think it was just kind of run and gun, I was learning as we go. And also to note, at that time, editing and lighting and audio was not my passion. I always thought to myself, I would be more more of value to you if I were to make it in music. So that was like always on my radar. So when I would work with you, I kind of felt like I was getting pulled away from my dream. And it was hard for me to dive into this business as an equal with you, because there was a lot of times that I felt that it wasn't my passion, and I also felt that it was distracting from my dream. And so when you would come at me, it was like, it felt like, I don't know if I'm ever going to succeed in this area because I don't have the passion that you do for it. Now it's different, because I have a passion for it as well.
How?
Because it's sad to say, but because I started producing more of your content, because I started being more hands-on in the sense of it, where it felt like mine. I think before it was kind of like I felt like I was hired on as a shooter, or I was hired on as a thing. But now it feels more like, oh, we're coming up with creatives together, or hey, you know, what's the best way of talking about this subject, or how do we do this month, you know?
And you know the topic as well too, so you can also contribute from like a content perspective.
Exactly. So now it feels more equal than it did before, which allows me to be more invested into it, which allows me to feel more important. And then also what really showed me that I am valuable for this business specifically is the amount of people we tried to hire, and to see that they can't do it, and to know that like I am important for this place. And it's kind of selfish, right? It is kind of selfish, so I will admit that. But to know that you can't replace me.
No.
Not that easy.
Yeah.
And that kind of lit a fire in love for it, because now it felt like it was also mine. But before it didn't feel like mine. It felt like I was aiding your dream.
What's really interesting about that is I never thought of it that way, but it's actually a beautiful way of putting it, because before you were always the sous chef.
Yeah.
I think about this a lot now that we have Ryu. So with Ryu, you and I are at equal footing.
Yeah.
Nobody knows more about parenting than the other person does.
Yeah.
If anything, I probably know less than you. But because of that, whenever one person has Ryu, whenever you have Ryu, I always think I'm his sous chef. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you need? What can I get you? Like, how can I help? Like, you're in charge and I'm here to facilitate. Mm-hmm. And it's not until maybe this year, 2020, that I started to become your sous chef at work.
Yeah.
Before, you were always my sous chef.
Yeah.
Because I always knew more than you.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, go get this, put this over here, set this up. I'm explaining everything to you, and you're never the person who's like turning around and being like, now
we should
I
do
need
it this way.
Yeah.
Let's set up here. Move the chairs this way. And a lot of part of that too, it felt like, you know, at that time you would be like, this is your business too. We went into this together. And it would be like, well, it doesn't feel like it. You know, we're getting commissioned out because of your brand. We're doing topics that you want to do. It was just kind of like, I'm just here to take off a load. This is not my business. And now it's like my brand is bringing us in money. My brand is also getting commissioned out. So there's like times where we're shooting for you and there's times where we're shooting for me.
Yeah.
So it feels more equal, and it feels more like this is also my baby as well, which has changed my interaction with it completely. Mm-hmm. And so I think that was the biggest turning point on our work relationship getting better.
The takeaway lesson is there does have to be like a balance in power. And I actually did an episode on sexology about this, just about the dynamic has to shift. Sometimes you're alpha and I'm your beta.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm the alpha and you're my beta.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're delta. We're actually equals working at this together.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to transition and know when to switch for each other.
Yeah.
So it was hard for me to switch to beta because you just weren't better than me.
Yeah.
So I'd want to do that for you. I know it's the right thing to do, but then I'm like, oh, like I'm trying to let his ideas win, but they're like second place
Not
ideas. And so now like they're genuinely first place gold medal ideas. And it's very easy for me to be more subservient to you because I know what's better for the business.
Yeah.
I will want to toot your horn right now and say a massive reason why we get repeat business is because the content is fucking good.
Yeah.
And if you look around even right now, hopefully you've noticed we've got a third camera in play. We constantly invest in
our business.
And
not only in our business, but in the quality of the business. We're always trying to level up. I know for me personally, at least once a week, I'm watching a tutorial video on editing. I'm watching how to light I'm always learning how to make our videos look more professional.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest thing for me. I'm the tech nerd in the business here. So, Shan didn't want to do these mics all the time, but I have convinced her that these mics are necessary because it provides a intimate experience, right? We're not yelling anymore. Now we're talking like this, and you get to really hear what it sounds like to be here with us. While we're on the topic of investing ourselves, I just invested in a new music video. I put this song at the end of Shan's videos all the time, and I used to see all these comments of people being like, yo, where's the song? What's the song? What's the song? Or I'll get DMs like, you know that song at the end where it's like, big dog, look at my paws? I can't find it. Well, it was mine and it wasn't out, so that's why I never told you anything. But it is out now, and it comes with a music video. Also, we're working on a house tour, and this is like a little pre-house tour because I shot it here at our new house. Go check it out. Here's a little snippet.
We threw a party, yeah, we threw a party. I'm off the Molly, she on Bacardi. Hands on her back, she twerking that body. Forget your past, move on, quit the stalling. Hit it to the left, right, yeah, I'm on the road. You don't wanna take flight, you ain't tryna go. I can hit the brake lights, got you on mode. Freaky at the nighttime, things you never show. Pop that when you walk past, that's a full stack. Flip that, make it right back, that's a relapse. You ain't mad if I don't call back, no, you missed that. Got a problem, you ignite that, you don't write back. You should slide to my side. Know you want a good time. Come on, baby, don't lie. Pull up on the hills one time. You ain't gotta stress on time. I could probably hit it in the booth right now. VVS diamonds all in my mouth. Big dog, look at my paws. She walked in with no drawers. Make it rain, I'm like fall.
Pulled up in the hills one time. Shorty in the fields one time.
I think what's really important to note about the success that we have achieved, it is because of the areas that we have chosen to focus on.
Yeah.
So I saw another sex educator make a comment that people were DMing at me because they felt it was directed at me.
It was.
And what they're basically saying is that there's people in this space who only get opportunities because of pretty privilege, that there are more qualified and there are smarter people who should be given certain media opportunities, but they don't get them because they don't have the benefit of pretty privilege, which, is obviously also tied to colorism in many ways. And while that is extremely true, I will acknowledge that I do receive privilege because of the way that I look. The way that I look is also tailored for the job that I do. I wear wigs. I invest in makeup. I invest in classes. And also too, because I knew specifically what kind of sex educator that I wanted to be, media focused, everything that I did, every skill that I acquired was laser focused in that lane, which is why I never tote to be the smartest, most academically qualified. There are way smarter people in this area, but did those people spend the past 15 years watching videos on how people speak to deliver the best on camera?
Yeah.
Did those people, take classes, read books, hire speech therapists, invest in camera equipment?
Yeah.
Marry an incredible man who happens to also love technology, who can make your stuff look even better. A part of the business of selling yourself as an expert is also acknowledging the media side of things and making sure you're focusing on that too. So I think the success is really based on the fact that we have invested very strategically in areas to succeed in this particular lane.
Yeah.
So my advice to anybody who wants to win is really know not just the topic you want to cover, not just the medium that you want to go to. What is the really narrow lane that you want to swim in and kill? And what are the things that you have to get really great at to go as fast and as far as possible? What's really fascinating, what I want to talk to you about is because you come from a very conservative background.
Yeah.
Both of your parents are very, very religious.
Yep.
You yourself used to be a part of a very religious organization.
Yep.
And yet here you are talking about vibrators and anal for a living. And not only that, Jared is now actually taking it upon himself, if you listen to his podcast, Enjoy the Podcast, where you are starting to put yourself in the light of somebody who is
talking about sex and relationships.
Yeah, and is knowledgeable in this topic. Playboy has hired you to talk about
male
premature ejaculation.
Yep, I am the face of that.
What made you feel fascinating? I mean, obviously seeing how our business worked just felt like a natural fit, but when did you fall in love with the topic?
So, number one for me, I always had a fascination for sex. I that was just an area that I was passionate about. Not only that, but I was very passionate about being socially smart. So, and that just transferred over into relationships, and not only in relationships with a significant other, but relationships with other people around me. And then when I met you were able to put a lot of the language to things that I already had a hunch on. And it just was like, oh yeah, this is actually an area that I am passionate about, and this is actually an area that I do care about. So as I was working with you over the years, I was just kind of like, yo, is there a male in this space? Because I think that I can probably provide some things in this area. Now, I never want to call myself an expert.
Well, I'm really passionate about people feeling empowered to be an expert in this space, because I think this is an area where a lot of people are like, well, I'm no expert. Well, why shouldn't you be?
Yeah.
If you're passionate about sex and relationships, if you're passionate about love, if you read books, if you spend the time, if you put the energy and the hours, and I think at this point, you probably have put 10,000 hours forward in this way, why not feel empowered to say, even if you don't use the word expert, like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And I think that comes across on the podcast or any time that I am having a conversation about it. And that's the reason why Playboy does feel confident with having me be, a partner with them or any other brands out there. And so, I definitely think that I never went to school. I never did the type of work that you did. So calling myself an expert kind of feels like a slap in your face.
Do you aspire to be the male me?
When you put it like that sounds weird, but I do think that our brands can be very closely aligned.
How does it feel to get to the level of success that we're now at?
Oh, it feels like a dream to be in this house, to be able to work from home, spend time with our kid when we want to be able to help out family, to be able to, I would dream of a life like this. And so just to think that we've built something, like you were saying, I met you only made $12,000 that year. And now we make that in a week if we wanted to. Probably more than that in a week. So it's just crazy to me that we have the ability to develop income off of a passion, and to say that to be true, it's just, I honestly still am in awe and in shock every day I wake up here, that our love and our business has been able to give us this. Even our neighbors on the street, when they see us, they're like, you don't live there. Especially me. Yeah. They're like, yeah, you don't live there. And I'm like, yeah, we live here. And we bought this with a camera and a light, And so it's just, it's nuts to me. It's so shocking. What about you?
I say it to you a million times a day. I can't believe it. I cannot. And I think back to my 19-year-old self who started in this space and who thought this could be something. Did I envision this? Did I think we would get this far? And interestingly enough, I listened to The Social Animal by David Brooks maybe 4 years ago. And he had a follow-up book called The Second Mountain that I listened to afterwards. I liked that book so much. And The Second Mountain was all about, once you've achieved all the things that you wanted to achieve as an individual, the second mountain is now where you can start to think about, how do I give back to others? What is my legacy? How do I take what I have and share that? And I remember listening to it and stopping it because I'm like, I'm not here. I don't give a fuck about other people's success. I'm trying to figure my shit out right now. I don't have time to think about how I'm going to give back to the community. Yeah. But now that we're here, the words, the second mountain, come up a lot in my mind. I think a lot about now, how do we pay it forward? How do we create opportunities for others? How do we extend what we have so the people that we love can share in it? If someone said to you, I want to set up a business identical to the one that you guys have, what would you tell them to do?
Well, I think for one, I would say get yourself a camera, get yourself lighting, get yourself credentials, get you some mic equipment, and then also learn how to structure videos, learn how to edit, learn how to color correct, and figure out what you are passionate about enough to grind through the lows. But it's so detailed that it wouldn't do it justice for me to just answer it like that.
That is such a not a throwaway statement. Figure out what you're passionate about enough to grind through the lulls. Yeah. There's times when you're just like, is it over? Yeah. I remember when I first got an accountant and they were specified to influencers, and they said, okay, we're going to make sure we set your business up for savings because the average influencer has 2 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, 2 years? Like, I want a guarantee, which is why I'm back in school right now, which is why we level up our equipment. Like, I don't want a 2-year shelf life. Like, how do I stay in this and stay relevant and stay meaningful to my audience for the longest period of time?
Yeah.
But there are times when you fear that, like,
this is it.
It's over.
I see the future of shared entertainment. One, of course, courses. You need to do a course on how we started this business. I would love to do a course on how to get that shot. And for me, I just want to take the podcast game to the next level. Obviously, I want to deal in music. I want to grow in that area. And then the other thing is expanding, like you were saying, expanding into other talents, getting other people under the umbrella of the business of sex. And just, taking this brand to a level that is almost like JD said, a pyramid scheme, but without the scheme. I don't want to take your money. I want to provide an opportunity so that you can take what we've done and take it further.
Big dog, look at my paws.